lemon salad. The salad is supreme, and I saw Doctor Strange. It is directed by Scott Derrickson, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch. I bring this review from the mirror dimension. Let's just get right into it. This movie starts. You get this guy, he's a very arrogant doctor guy. He's a very good surgeon, and he gets that told to him a lot. But he's also like very hand-picky, choosy on which people he helps, to the point where he's just denying like people at the clinic. He doesn't want to talk to the people at the clinic because he's like, it's just going to destroy my perfect record of surgeries. He just wants to have the perfect record, and so he denies all these people's help in order to just keep this squeaky clean record. I mean, I don't understand what the point of a record is. I mean, I do. I understand the point of a record. However, 100% at a hospital? That seems to me a little bit sketch, because it's like, okay, this person's like choosing people he knows he can help. And if I'm chosen by him, that's good. But if I'm denied by him, then it says more about me that I'm doing no good. I'm not doing good, and I'm gonna die soon. And this guy won't help. He's so good at his job that he gets a bullet out of like this guy's brainstem without like the use of any camera equipment at all. And it's very impressive. Very impressive. It's super impressive. However, here's the fun part. And I like how quick this is. 13 minutes in, he gets into this really bad car accident. He's on a call. He's just looking at these medical documents while he's driving, and I'm just like, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be looking at things and driving? That's not good. You're gonna get into an accident though. Look, he does. But then he loses the use of his hands. And I can kind of relate to the pain of that, because if I were to lost my hands, that would be really bad. I mean, I gotta think about that. Art is like a really strong asset that I have, but it also requires the use of my hands and my fine motor skills. If I were to lose them like Stephen Strange did, like in that car accident, it was super brutal, like the metal went around his hands and it like just engulfed them, and now he's like shaky hands, can't even use them. He tries to rehabilitate himself. There's a few points where he's like, I want my hands back, I'm gonna try so hard and get so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter, because all of these treatments, these experimental treatments that I'm putting on myself is not working at all. And he does eventually meet like with one of the guys that he used to help. The guy who's super paralyzed, couldn't walk, and he's like really notices, just looks at him, and it's super heartbreaking, because I just really like the scene. You see the guys recognizing Steven. Steven's like, oh, I need your help, and the guy's like, you denied me, okay? You wanted that squeaky clean 100% record of everyone you helped, you saved, blah blah blah. And then Stephen Strange is like, hey, I have my own ailments too. With my hands, I can't help anyone anymore. And the guy's like, really understanding, which is good. He's like, okay, you gotta go to this guy. So Stephen goes to this guy, and it's like hidden in plain sight. He doesn't know like which door is leading to these people, but he eventually does find out who these people are. Does talk to them. He's very eager. He's like, I want to fix my hands. Come on, just hand fix. And just the way that he is just like talking to the ancient one, because he does get introduced to her. She's just like, I don't believe it. Come on, man. I don't believe it, I don't believe you. And then like she just sends him through like all of these like universes and astro projects him, puts him through the astral plane. And this is when the movie went from like good to great for me. I just really enjoyed. Man, I love the visuals. This is an incredibly trippy movie. Like, just watching like some of the scenes with all the colors and such. Like, I was sober when I watched this, and I felt like I was on acid. that's how trippy it was. It was pretty great. It was a fun experience to just watch it, and I just. And also, the effects really help with like bring home like some points throughout the movie. But for now, let's continue with Stephen Strange. He has a desire to learn, and so he stays on like these doorsteps. This door, I don't know what it's called. He's on the floor through the rain for like 5 hours, and they're like, "Hey, he's really determined. He really wants to learn this." And so they eventually take him in and teach him about stuff. And I just love how Steven just jumps right in. He just dives in. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to learn everything that I want to." Steven is really determined to learn about everything, especially with the scene where he's in the library and he sees these books, these guarded books. He's like, "Oh, those books, are those forbidden?" And the librarian's like, or the guy, "Hey, they're actually not forbidden. No book here is forbidden. Only certain techniques and practices are forbidden." Steven's such a curious one. He like reads through books. Every book he's been assigned, he just reads through it. He just wants to learn everything. And this is all in service to himself. Even though he's constantly being told that, hey, this isn't about you. You can only do what you can if you have the power to do it. Basically, if you have the power to do it, you should do the right thing, even if you personally don't care about it. And it takes Steven a long time to actually recognize this lesson. Steven noticed that there are some of these pages torn out of this book. One of the super sacred, powerful book one, that one. And he was able to like replicate that spell kind of like perfectly to the point where he almost cast it as he's like looking at it. Because he's also messing with the time stone at this point. And he's just like perfect spell casting. And it's just like, man, I love it. Like, he's such a good one. He can open portals super goodly. It takes him like a lot of practice and determination, but that's just like his character. He's like determination. Even if he is a little arrogant, I just love his persistence. He's such a good persistent character. And now, after having seen this movie, I gotta say, this has to be my favorite MCU movie by far. Favorite character too, Doctor Strange. He's the coolest character. He's a magic guy. Man, I love magic. I'm gonna play some like magic people in D&D whenever I do a D&D session. I just love magic. And I just love the magic in this movie. Especially the magic that the bad guy exudes. He stole some pages from a book, and now he's got this little marking on his head, and the marking's kind of a demonic shape, and he's constantly just pulling from that power, and he really just wants immortal life. And he looks bad. Like, that's bad. You shouldn't want to live forever. Otherwise, you're just going to be some, like, lifeless being floating throughout space, who has transcended their body, and therefore their soul is constantly tortured by the fact that, oh, this cannot end. This can only continue. And the entire point of this movie, I feel, is you gotta just enjoy. You just gotta enjoy what you got. You don't have to deal with like multiple universes colliding at once. You only have to deal with whatever you gotta deal with. You know? I also just love Doctor Strange's journey. in being a good one, being the bestest of them all. Because now he has to like confront these bad guys. And he puts them in the mirror dimension. And he thought this was like super smart. He's like, okay, now I protected the real world from everything. And these bad guys are like, hey, actually, you did us a really good thing. You made it so we can manipulate this arena with free will. And people with bad powers are really good at the mirror dimension. Because, you know, it's a different dimension. It's not the real world. I find that cool. Also, the effects are still super trippy, and I love it. I also just love how the bad guys are like beating everyone up at first, and then Stephen Strange is like, hey, actually, I have this Infinity Stone. I'm gonna turn everything back in time. And as he's doing it, he's just rewinding everything. And he gets knocked off, he gets knocked out, and then everything stops. This is a place that exists outside of time. It's like cool. It's a cool concept. It is something that the guy who wanted to live immortal, he's like, ah, yes, I'm blessed. Okay, this is what I wanted. I wanted to be in a moment in time where everyone's frozen, where everyone's just chilling out. You got some wok, and you got some guy cooking some noodles in a wok, which looks cool. They really like that shot because they used it a couple of times, but it's a cool shot. Why would you not want to use it many times? Doctor Strange is like, well, we're in a place stuck in time. What shall do? So Doctor Strange is like, hey, I have an idea. I'm going to go to the guy who's in the dark universe, the place that exists outside of time, and force him to experience time. Anyway, you got Doctor Strange, he's laying down his life. I mean, not even his... Let me be clear. He doesn't have a life to spare because he's stuck in the same amount of time, just over and over and over again, in order to bargain with this guy, the very bad guy, the guy who wants to just take up all the energy, all the dark, consume all, or whatever. And he wants planets, and Earth is a planet that's being taken, and he wants. Doctor Strange is like, hey, actually no, here's a bargain. If you don't release Earth, I am going to make sure to keep you here, stuck at this time, over and over and over again. And so, he gets killed like millions of times. The bad guy is really persisting. He's like, why don't you just die? And he experiences deja vu for the first time, and it's just like, man, you are experiencing something new. And it gets to the point where he just drives him insane. He's like, fine, I'll do the bargain. Just let me go. Just let me go. I don't want to deal with this. And then, boom, Doctor Strange returns, and Doctor Strange has been killed like countless times. And here we have like a bunch of like emo people just being like, okay, it was us who defeated him. It's like, no, it's solely Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange is going to explain that because he has explained so much. And also, one of the guys, I suspect is going to be an evil guy. He's just super angry at Doctor Strange. He's like, hey, you used the Time Stone. You're not allowed to do that. Only the Sorceress Supreme is supposed to do that. And also the Saladus Supreme is also allowed to use an Infinity Stone. And Doctor Strange might as well be the Sorcerer Supreme, okay? He's the most goodest. He learns super fast. He just wants to learn. And that's what makes him the goodest wizard of them all. And then the time is released, and everything's fixed, and everything's back to normal. And that's pretty great. But then there's more dangers being spoken of. There are even bigger dangers, countless dangers beyond just the multitudes of all these different planets, all these monsters, and all these universes, and all these darknesses. There's just an infinite amount of them that not like one person can conceive of them, because they're an infinite amount of these universes. The Ancient One would even tell him, he's like, if you were to find out what I'm dealing with, what I'm thinking about all the time, you would just run away and freak out and cry. And Doctor Strange, he's not freaked out or cried. He's only just stayed persistent, and that's honestly probably the best lesson you can give anyone. You gotta stay persistent. I absolutely love this movie. This is a great movie, great visuals. Oh my gosh, I just love the trippiness of everything. The magic, just the concept of magic. I love the magic so much. There honestly needs to be a lot more magic movies. And I suspect there are going to be some more magic movies in the MCU. Because I feel like this is like the first movie that has been a magic movie within the MCU timeline, or at least the ones I'm like actively aware of. But man, great actor. Benedict Cumberbatch is a great actor. He's like one of my personal favorites. He's so good in Sherlock. I've only like binged Sherlock one time, and I was just like, yo, Benedict Cumberbatch is great. And I was also noticing like how he talks. He speaks like a British person trying to do like American with his mouth. He sounds American. He looks like American, but like this minute he speaks, like his mouth contorts in a way where it's just like, you're clearly British. You're very famous for being very British. I'm just impressed that he can pull off both. I can't do a consistent British accent to save my life. So, you know, applaud you. Good job, Benedict Cumberbatch. Congratulations. You did good. And I gotta give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. Oh god, this is such a good movie. You gotta go see it. I love it so much. I just love Doctor Strange as a character. If you liked that content, I have more content on patreon.com/ASEPresents for $3 a month. You get a daily vlog. Wow, I can't believe it. A daily vlog, yeah, that's right. Also, $20 a month, you can request me to watch a movie. And that's pretty neat. Any movie, I'll watch it for you. And until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons, bacon bits.